Mrs. Jimison says her marriage to her husband is like a bad romance novel, complete with bimbos, lies, and sugar mamas. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Jimison v. Jimison.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jimison, Mr. Jimison. Thank you all for joining us here at Divorce Court today. I'd like to welcome you all. Today we are looking at another case where there are allegations of cheating and lying, which means the trust has been undermined in this relationship. Mrs. Jimison, Mr. Jimison, I understand you've been together for 15 years. You've been married for 3 years. And you do have one child together who is a 9-year-old son, yet you have blended your families.
Yes.
That each one of you had children from a previous relationship. There are 3 boys in this family, as I understand it. Ms. Jimison, what brings us here to Divorce Court today?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I would like a divorce for my husband.
Really?
I'm tired of his shenanigans. I'm tired of the untrustworthy. I am actually tired of the cheating, the lies, and today I also have my divorce papers with me.
So you came armed and ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jimison, you heard what your wife says. What do you say, sir?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I want to save my relationship. I also love my wife and I love my kids, and I want to fix all the issues, and I want to leave the past in the past, and I want to renew my mind and renew my vows.
So you're coming in here trying to be solution-oriented, trying to move forward in the relationship. You think there's something left to be saved, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to go on back to Ms. Jimison. Ms. Jimison, why don't you take me back to when you first met and what got us to the point where we're in divorce court?
Okay, when we first met, we was out, well, not together, but I was outside with some of my friends at a lounge back in 2009. Mm-hmm. And I was with my friends, and we was out partying, and he was out with his friends. And actually, the friend that he was with came over and asked me for my number first. So he pretty much kind of like blocked and slid in once he walked away and was like, nah, you don't need to be with him, you need to be with me. So I'm like, oh, okay, so why do I need to be with you?
You were feeling yourself that day. You got all kinds of messages coming for you. All right now.
What can I say?
Uh-huh.
But so I was like, okay, well, all right. So I gave him my phone number, and we pretty much like danced the rest of the night away and just was talking. And it was like a real strong communication of like a vibe.
Mr. Jimison, did you feel the vibe right there from the beginning?
I definitely felt the vibe that night, Your Honor.
Uh-oh. Something tells me that it just didn't end with the dancing and the laughter and everything.
Well,
okay.
I mean, it ended with a strong conversation.
I love that. Absolutely. I love that. So I actually read in my court papers that you fell in love pretty quickly. You introduced him to your family right away. Yeah, pretty much. Like
the next day, he was introduced to all my family, and it was like pretty much like a love at first sight. And everything was going so well, and everything was so smooth until the cheating.
Red flags happen pretty quickly, I understand.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the first red flag. I think the marriage and the way it happened was your first red flag. Am I right?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was like he asked me to marry him, and when he asked me to marry him, it was actually during COVID, which was like already at a standstill because we couldn't really do too much because everybody was pretty much put up because of COVID. And so when he asked me to marry him, we was actually out in a public place, and the family was with us. And I didn't want to say no to embarrass him.
Oh, no, you had one of those public engagements.
Yes, with the family and everyone.
I know a little something about that. That don't always work out well.
Yes, so it was like, okay, what do you do, Carmiese? Do you say no or do you say yes? In the back of my mind, I'm like, no, because right now is not a good time. And then I'm like, but I don't want to embarrass him. The kids are here, everybody's here. So I say yes.
I mean, it was love at first sight.
I know, but Mr. Jimison, now wait a minute, y'all, because my notes, I can add. You've been together for 15 years. You actually had a child together almost 10 years ago, But you've only been married for 3 years, so
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the delay in the wedding proposal, and why was it so
If
public?
it was love at first sight.
Yeah, so help me, Mr. Jimison. I can add, okay? so what was the proposal about? Was there something that had gone on in your relationship that pushed you to propose at that time?
Yeah, I was just tired of doing the cheating, and I just felt like I was just over it. Like I just wanted to be with her, and I was still working on myself, trying to figure myself out and get my stuff together. So once I figured everything out, got myself together, I realized like just the woman I wanted to be with.
But Mr. Jimison, I mean, it sounds beautiful, but something tells me that the proposal came at a time where you may have figured it all out, but she may still be in the process of figuring it out.
Right.
Am I right, Ms. Jimison?
Because pretty much once we got married, that's when everything went downhill.
But I also
So
feel
it wasn't like I was getting myself together with being married. It was after we got married, everything went downhill.
But I also feel like if you didn't want to get married, I would have felt more better if you just told me that in the beginning.
It's not the case that I didn't want to get married, because who wouldn't want to be married to somebody that they've been with for a long period of time?
You never
At some point, I done devoted myself to you, and then also it's a child involved. So of course, the next step would be I would want to be married.
Well, y'all are married at this point, so now I want to know, when did the suspicions happen? Because you keep saying it started to change after the marriage.
Right.
You want to let me know.
So it was like co-workers.
Explain what you mean.
So pretty much one of the co-workers called my phone, telling me that me and her was sharing my husband. So at this point, when I get that phone call, I'm like, sharing my husband, excuse me? He went out with his brother out for a birthday, and he came and met with me after he was done with his brother. So when it was time to go, I said, let me use your phone so we can plug it in and play music, go home. So I get his phone, I unlock it. The first thing popped up in his phone is a young lady with her boobs out, with her tongue out, hanging out in the picture talking about, what you doing, babe? What are you doing, babe? So pretty much I asked who are you? She didn't want to state who she was. I say, well, how did you get my phone number? She said, I got it out of his phone. So you got it out of his phone? How did you get it out of his phone? Just know we sharing him. And then she hung up the phone.
Oh my goodness, I would have liked to be in your house that day.
Man, like a fly on the wall, right?
So I'm assuming there was a confrontation.
Of course. So once he got home from work and I asked him about it, he was like, pretty much like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't been talking to nobody. I haven't been cheating with a coworker.
Do you know who this coworker is, Mr. Jimison?
Yeah, she also was one of. So I was a supervisor working at a stadium, and she was one of my workers.
Okay.
And she was and we was handing out promotions. She was trying to do anything to get the promotion.
Why would she be calling me?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to keep the facts straight.
She had a crush on the other staff as well as me. So she was trying to do any means necessary to get this promotion.
So let me be very clear. Any means necessary is bringing you a pound cake. It's not calling your wife.
Exactly.
To say, I'm sharing your husband.
And whatever she have, it should have been shut down in the beginning. I'm married, and that's just what it is.
No,
don't come for me.
No, as a matter of fact, Ms. Jimison, I'll say yes to that. But you're the supervisor, Mr. Jimison. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
This young woman worked for you, and y'all both work for a real company.
Yes, ma'am.
A real company that has an HR department?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you report this behavior?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Matter of fact, not even say you should have reported it. It shouldn't have never been anything to get to being reported, because it should have been shut down right then and there.
Well, the easy,
period.
You know what? I can agree with you that it could have been shut down earlier, but I know it could have been shut down after the phone call was made. So tell me what you did as a result of this confrontation with your wife over this mystery woman coworker. What did you do?
Well, she did get terminated.
But we have so much more cheating that's going on.
See, I'm trying to be on your side, Mr. Jimison, but wait.
So it's
Ms. Jimison said that's just one thing.
We have more stories.
Wait 1 second. Keep going.
So now we have the facts of someone else. Now at this point, I'm out. He went out with his brother out for his brother's birthday, and he came and met with me after he was done with his brother outside. So when it was time to go, I said, let me use your phone so we can plug it in and play music, go home. So I get his phone, I unlock it. The first thing popped up in his phone is a young lady with her boobs out, with her tongue out, hanging out in the picture talking about, what you doing, babe? What are you doing, babe? At 2:30 in the morning. And not to mention, I have evidence here with me today for the picture.
Let me see the evidence. But
and as y'all can see, he also responded as if that was his wife that he was talking to.
just one moment, because I need to see it in its raw form. Corey.
I can explain, Your Honor. I can explain.
Absurd.
Not okay.
Tag, you're it. She asked you to take a lie detector test. You said no.
I didn't air it out.
At this point, I feel like he'll date anybody that's sitting out here in the audience if they got something to give him.
The women in the jury said no, they won't.
Okay, Yana. I met her a while back, like through one of my homeboys. He introduced me into her. She was
Why?
like,
While we was dating. Sorry.
Why?
no, we was at a gathering. Like it was a lot of people there, and she was one of the people that was there.
And why did she have your phone number? And a hush fell over Jerusalem. Because you gave it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And over.
But I gave it to her under the aspect that we was just cool. Like I didn't think it was like anything.
Let me tell you something. This woman did not think you were just cool.
No.
She sent you a full-on breast shot, okay? And not even perky breasts, tacky looking breasts. Okay?
I didn't.
Preach.
Your Honor, I actually didn't know she was gonna like send a photo. Like
It
I
ain't
didn't know
about
she.
what you know, it's about what you pursued. So at the end of the day, how you met and started back talking with her, you claim it was through a coworker, but then you also said through social media.
Corey, when you are a married man, chicks don't just roll up on you unless you're giving them the door open.
Exactly.
Ms. Jimison, you petitioned this court to do a polygraph examination.
Correct? For Mr. Gigolo.
And Mr. Jimison, you refused.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why.
Because I didn't air it out everything that's going on right
But
now.
how do
she
we
knows.
know that? Because there's always something.
But I have more questions, and I certainly would have had the polygraph examiner ask you some additional questions because I'm looking you in the face. I think you're lying.
That's the truth.
And this is why I gave him the nickname of Gigolo, because apparently every time he with somebody, he looked for getting
But
something
you're not
from
a saint
somebody.
either, though.
So at the
You
end of the
keep
day,
saying that, and I have not heard you make it.
Because,
Tell me,
like-
what are you talking about?
because he really don't have anything.
I would
So
like
what
to hear
about the
Mr.
guy?
Jimison.
So what about the guy with the photos, with
What-
the pictures, and you was texting a guy on social media?
Did you submit evidence of that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Oh, excuse me. My court records say you did not submit any evidence. Did you just lie to me?
No,
And
I
never
did submit
cheated.
evidence.
I never cheated, Your Honor. I never cheated. And even if it was a case of me cheating, it would be because of you led it to that.
There's multiple
Because
cases.
of all the cheating and infidelity that you have been
You
doing
know what?
over the
I can
course of
tell you
years.
for certain what's not going to happen. This is not going to be a vow renewal because there is nothing
And
about
that's why I
this
have divorce
relationship
papers right now.
that says to me
That's why I
that
have the divorce
you
papers.
want to work on this relationship. Mr. Jimison, I haven't heard you say anything that you're prepared to do to make your wife not have this level of mistrust and bitterness, okay? Because she's mad.
Because it's like, how do you come back from that at this point? I gave him a 60-day probation. after
Explain that to me.
So once I gave him the 60-day probation, it was pretty much on some terms of, okay, look, I done dealt with all of this, and I'm still gonna try to make it work with you. So let's start here. Okay, from this point of this day, you got 60 days to
How
get it
long
together.
ago was that?
This was last month.
We're not getting the divorce, Your Honor.
We
But see,
getting the
that's
divorce.
not-
Because I'm willing to do whatever it takes to fix my marriage.
If you was willing to do that within the 60 days of probation that I've given you, and you still haven't done it.
But I also
leading to this.
I also mentioned to her, Your Honor, back home, I also mentioned to her that if we're having these issues, or I'm having these issues, let's go to marriage counseling.
At the end of the day, and he's not in a position to give me any kind of anything to tell me what you want to do. You're not in a position.
She asked you to take a lie detector test. You said no.
At this point, I feel like he'll date anybody that's sitting out here in the audience if they got something to give him.
The women in the jury said no, they won't. Mr. Jimison, your wife said the first step would have been a lie detector test. You said no. Tell me what you would want to submit to the court.
An invitation stating that I want to renew our vows. And I paid for the venue and everything.
So, Mr. Jimison, this is what I want to say. When a woman says she's done, she's done. When a woman brings divorce papers to court, she usually is done. Unless she tells me, I need to see evidence of his faithfulness, his trustworthiness, his fidelity.
How can I show you that?
Well, one of the things you could have done, since she pointed it out, was walk into this courtroom and say, I have deleted my Facebook account. I have deleted my Instagram account.
And that's why we're here with these divorce papers, because
made
no
sure that everybody in
whatsoever.
my purview knows that I am dedicated to my wife. Instead, you brought, Corey, would you please retrieve the evidence that the defendant has brought to court?
And can I see it?
Yeah. So you have put together a invitation for a renewal of your wedding vows for 2025 at a location in Chicago with a, quote, reception to follow.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ask your wife whether or not she wanted to renew her vows?
Yes, ma'am. She mentioned it to me numerous of times. She wanted us to renew our vows.
Corey, will you show this to the plaintiff, please?
Yeah, because no, absolutely not.
So you're going to stand there and lie like that?
So at the end of the day, I don't know what you're talking about. And at this point, he for the streets. So I feel like I should be giving this to one of the audience. Since he for the street, they might want this. Because apparently, this ain't going to work for me.
Corey, will you please retrieve the divorce papers?
See you right there.
Thank you very much. Ms. Jimison, this is signed by you.
Before a wife. Yes, ma'am.
Would you like me to serve these papers?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not signing that, Your Honor.
Corey, serve the papers.
You've been served?
That's fine.
You don't have to sign because she signed, she asked the court to serve them, and thus begins the proceeding for you to take this transcript and go into a court of law and begin your divorce proceeding. And not only begin your divorce proceeding, but take back your life.
That's right.
Because if you don't trust this man, you don't need to be married to this man.
Not gonna work.
I'm not signing this.
You're absolutely right.
And you can rip up the divorce paper. That's
they
fine,
can be filed again.
because the transcript works.
They can be filed again.
And an affidavit by me works even better. So, Ms. Jimison, take back your life.
Thank
Get
you.
yourself a new name and a new man.
Hey.
That's my verdict.
I don't know why you ripped those papers up.
Because I want us to
doesn't
stay
matter.
together and be a family. I want us to
That's
renew
not
our
what you've
vows.
been trying to do.
Stay
So I
together.
don't know why you acting like that's what you want right now.
I haven't
it's
been
not.
cheating.
You have been cheating, and you've been cheating.
I haven't been cheating
For how
since I've
long?
been back
It's
in the
been
house.
cheating. It's no difference. So
I
you're
haven't
ripping
been
the
cheating.
papers up like I can't
I
get some more.
haven't given you any
So I'm going to get some more
explanations to
divorce
be.
papers because this is it. So it doesn't make a difference.
made in Georgia.